Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel. Today, we take you on a journey into big history hidden inside a small coin, the rare and historic 1-cent coins of the United States of America, bearing the words "In God We Trust, Liberty, and E Pluribus Unum." Every coin is not just money, but a story. So make sure to watch the video till the end, like it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, 1 cent. In God We Trust, Liberty, 1993. D coin is a Lincoln Memorial cent, part of one of the longest-running and most culturally significant coin series in U.S. history. And this specific issue reflects both the deep historical roots of American coinage and the everyday economic life of the early 1990s. Minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse, the 1993 D cent continues the Lincoln Memorial, reverse design that had been in use since 1959, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it features the iconic profile bust of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, a design originally created by sculptor Victor David Brenner for the centennial of Lincoln's birth in 1909, making it the first regularly circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical person rather than an allegorical figure. On the obverse, the inscriptions "In God We Trust" appear along the top. Rim Liberty is positioned to the left of Lincoln's portrait, and the date 1993, with the D mint mark appears to the right, all of which are struck in raised relief and framed by a plain edge, while the reverse bears the inscription "United States of America" across the top, "E Pluribus Unum" just below it, the Lincoln Memorial dominating the center, 1 cent at the bottom, and a tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible within the memorial itself, a subtle detail that symbolizes Lincoln as both the subject and the enduring moral center of the nation. Compositionally, the 1993 D cent is made of 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating, a change that had been implemented in 1982 due to rising copper prices, giving the coin its copper appearance while significantly reducing production costs. And it weighs 2.5 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain edge, all standard specifications for modern U.S. cent of the era. Historically, the early 1990s were a period of economic transition in the United States, marked by recovery from the early decade recession, increasing globalization and rapid technological development, and coins like the 1993 D cent circulated widely in everyday transactions such as vending machines, grocery purchases, and public transportation, making them quiet witnesses to ordinary American life rather than ceremonial artifacts. In terms of mintage, the Denver Mint produced over 6.5 billion 1993 D Lincoln cents, an extremely high number that reflects the cent's role as a backbone of small denomination commerce and also explains why the coin is generally not rare today, especially in circulated condition, though collectors still study and preserve examples in higher mint state grades. Numismatically, most 1993 D cents found in circulation exhibit typical wear patterns such as smoothing of Lincoln's hair and coat, reduced sharpness in the lettering, and diminished detail in the Lincoln Memorial steps, while uncirculated specimens retain strong luster, crisp devices, and full original copper color, often classified as red RD, red-brown RB, or brown BN, depending on oxidation levels. Errors and varieties exist for this issue, including off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and occasional double dies, though none are considered major key varieties, and their value depends heavily on visibility, condition, and collector demand. Monetarily, a circulated 1993 D cent is typically worth face value, while uncirculated examples may range from a few cents to a few dollars depending on grade, with top population coins graded MS 67 or higher by professional services commanding higher premiums due to their scarcity and pristine condition rather than rarity of issue. Culturally and symbolically, the inscriptions on the coin carry layered meaning, with E Pluribus Unum out of many one, reflecting the foundational idea of unity among states and people. In God We Trust serving as a national motto and expressing a historical relationship between faith and governance, and liberty standing as a core American ideal that transcends eras and political shifts, while Lincoln's presence reinforces themes of unity, sacrifice, and moral leadership. although the Lincoln Memorial reverse would eventually be replaced in 2009 by the Lincoln Bicentennial Designs and later by the Union Shield. The 1993 Descent represents a mature phase of the memorial era, a time when the design was deeple. The United States of America e pluribus unum 1 cent, in God we trust, Liberty 1998 coin is a Lincoln Memorial cent, a continuation of one of the most recognizable and historically layered coin designs in American history, and it represents both the everyday economic life and the enduring national symbolism of the United States at the close of the 20th century. Issued during the final years of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse era, 1959 to 2008, the 1998 cent features the right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making it the first U.S. circulating coin to depict an actual historical individual rather than a symbolic figure, a revolutionary decision at the time that permanently changed American coinage. On the obverse, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," are along the upper rim. Liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's portrait, and the date 1998 is placed to the right with a mint mark, if present, just below the date. Coins without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, while those bearing a D were struck in Denver, and proof versions with an S mint mark were produced at the San Francisco Mint specifically for collectors. The reverse design displays the Lincoln Memorial, a neoclassical structure in Washington, D.C., symbolizing national unity, remembrance, and democratic ideals, with United States of America across the top, e pluribus unum just beneath it, and 1 cent prominently inscribed at the bottom, and notably, a tiny seated statue of Lincoln is visible within the memorial's central chamber, a detail that subtly reinforces Lincoln's enduring presence in American civic life. Compositionally, the 1998 Lincoln cent is made of 97.5% zinc within 2.5% copper plating, a cost-saving structure adopted in 1982 due to rising copper prices, giving the coin its traditional copper appearance while significantly reducing intrinsic metal value, and it weighs 2.5 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain edge consistent with modern U.S. cents. Historically, 1998 was a year marked by economic growth, technological expansion, and the rise of the internet-driven economy in the United States, and the Lincoln cent remained a fundamental unit of everyday commerce, used in retail transactions, vending machines, parking meters, and cash registers nationwide, even as debates about the usefulness of the penny were beginning to surface more frequently. Mintage figures for 1998 were extremely high, with billions of cents produced across all mints, reflecting continued demand for low-denomination coinage. And as a result, the 1998 cent is considered very common in circulated condition, with most examples showing typical were such as flattening of Lincoln's hair detail, reduced sharpness in the lettering, and softened lines in the Lincoln Memorial steps. Uncirculated examples, however, retain original mint luster and sharper detail, and are classified by collectors according to color designations. Red RD, for coins retaining nearly all original copper color, red-brown, RB, for partially toned pieces in brown, BN, for coins that are fully oxidized, while proof versions struck at San Francisco exhibit mirror-like fields and frosted devices, intended for collectors rather than circulation. Numismatically, the 1998 Lincoln cent is notable for having several minor error types and varieties known to collectors, including off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and occasional double dies, though none rise to the level of a major key date, and their value depends heavily on visibility, condition, and authentication. In terms of monetary value, circulated 1998 cents typically retain only face value, while uncirculated examples may be worth modest premiums depending on grade, and high-grade specimens certified by professional grading services, particularly MS 67, or higher, can command higher prices due to their relative scarcity and pristine condition rather than overall rarity. Symbolically, the inscriptions on the coin carry deep philosophical meaning, with e pluribus unum, out of many one, reflecting the foundational principle of unity among diverse states and peoples. In God we trust, representing the national motto and the historical influence of faith on American identity, and liberty, standing as a timeless expression of individual freedom and democratic values, While Lincoln's portrait reinforces themes of unity, sacrifice, and moral leadership rooted in the Civil War era, culturally, the 1998 Lincoln cent represents a mature and familiar stage of American coin design, a time when the memorial reverse had become an everyday visual constant rather than a commemorative novelty. And although it would later be replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial designs in 2009 and the Union Shield reverse thereafter, the 1998 cent stands as a snapshot of late 20th son. The United States of America, e pluribus unum 1 cent. In God We Trust Liberty 1976 coin is a Lincoln Memorial cent, and occupies a particularly interesting place in American numismatic and cultural history because it was issued during the United States Bicentennial Year, a time of nationwide reflection on 200 years of independence, identity, and democratic ideals. Although the 1 cent coin itself did not receive a special bicentennial redesign like the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coins, the 1976 Lincoln cent circulated alongside those commemorative issues and quietly carried the same symbolic weight through its long-standing inscriptions and imagery. The obverse of the coin features a familiar right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln, a design created by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909 for the centennial of Lincoln's birth, making it the first regular-issue U.S. coin portray a real historical figure rather than a symbolic personification. A groundbreaking decision that reshaped American coinage permanently. Above Lincoln's head appears a national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase officially adopted on U.S. coinage in the 19th century and reaffirmed during the Cold War era, while the word liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's portrait, reinforcing one of the core principles upon which the nation was founded, and the date 1976 appears to the right, with a mint mark below the date if applicable. Coins with no mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, those with a D at the Denver Mint, and proof versions bearing an S mint mark were produced at the San Francisco Mint for collectors. The reverse of the 1976 cent displays the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the long-used wheat ears reverse and symbolizing national unity, remembrance, and democratic endurance, with United States of America across the top, e pluribus unum just below it, meaning out of many one, a phrase that reflects a union of states into a single nation, and 1 cent at the bottom, while a small but significant detail shows a seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, subtly reinforcing Lincoln's moral and historical presence at the heart of American governance. Compositionally, the 1976 Lincoln cent is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, as the U.S. Mint did not switch to the copper-plated zinc composition until 1982, making 1976 one the final. Decades of traditionally copper-rich cents, with a weight of 3.11 grams, a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a plain edge, characteristics that distinguish it physically from later zinc-based cents. Historically, 1976 was a year of celebration and complexity in the United States, marked by bicentennial events, parades, historical reenactments, and patriotic symbolism, but also by ongoing economic challenges, such as inflation, energy concerns, and post-Vietnam War adjustment. And the Lincoln cent circulated widely in everyday transactions during this period, passing through grocery stores, gas stations, vending machines, and school lunch lines, serving as a constant, unassuming reminder of continuity amid national reflection. Mintage figures of the 1976 Lincoln cent were extremely high, with billions of coins struck across all mints, reflecting the cent's essential role in daily commerce and explaining why the coin is still very common today, especially in circulated condition, where most examples show typical were such as smoothing of Lincoln's hair and coat, softening of lettering, and reduced architectural detail on the Lincoln Memorial steps. Uncirculated examples retain strong luster and sharper detail, and are categorized by collectors according to color, red RD. For coins retaining nearly full original copper color, red-brown RB. For partially toned pieces in brown BN. For coins that have fully oxidized, while proof coins from San Francisco display mirror, like fields and frosted design elements intended specifically for collectors. Numismatically, the 1976 cent is not a key date, but is studied for minor errors and varieties such as off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, weak strikes, and occasional double dies, with value depending heavily on visibility, condition, and professional authentication in terms of monetary worth. Most circulated 1976 cents are valued at face value, while uncirculated and high-grade examples may command modest premiums, especially those graded MS 66 or MS 67 or higher, due to the difficulty of preserving copper coins in pristine condition over time. Symbolically, the coin's inscriptions and imagery carry layered meaning, with liberty echoing the ideals of the Declaration of Independence, in God we trust reflecting historical national values, and E pluribus unum expressing unity among diversity, while Lincoln's portrait connects the revolutionary ideals of 1776 to the Civil War, struggled to preserve the Union a century